Hello, beloveds. Um, we're in a new spot. Um, the diagonal view kind of depicts how I'm feeling right now. Um, this is transmission number 13. And every time I call out what number the transmission is, I believe that it is for the past, present, and future. Not really sure what all that means. I'm also trying to record without my earbuds in to see if the sound is better. But just a little reminder that I am working with very basic tools. And that is part of the point. I want this to be as authentic and genuine and simplistic as possible. I affirm and pray that everyone watching, listening to this transmission is surrounded with love and light and joy and peace and protection. I am in a new spot this morning, still in the car, in an attempt to, one, stay warm, and two, to alleviate any external noises. But I'm basically working with a 5-year-old Android phone, and that is it. Obviously, that's it for the transmissions. I'm also working with pen and paper, as I have shared. That part of this project includes me recording twice a day, in the morning and in the evening, what I have been experiencing, the downloads that I have been receiving, and so that's the, I guess, analog piece. Of course, my sigil, which is aka my superSTAR symbol. I don't know if you noticed, but I drew a purple candle in the bottom right corner. So that would be to the southeast if we looked at the page as a compass. We have a pine cone with us, holding up the one corner. My brain's not braining. West. Okay. Kind of northwest corner. Little cute pine cone that's kind of pokey, actually, which definitely resonates with how I am feeling. I'm feeling very pokey, and not in a slow kind of pokey puppy kind of way, but in a pokey, I believe a shift is happening, and I don't really know what's happening all at the same time. I know that it hasn't been a week since my last transmission, but I'm feeling incredibly just like lost at sea right now. And um, I don't seem to be getting any answers or solutions in the housing situation and the individual who um, my dog and I are currently staying with. It's like as my light gets brighter, he gets meaner. And even though I know that it's projections of his own insecurities and fears and self-loathing, I still have to alchemize that energy. And it just makes me feel trapped because I know that I don't belong there. I know that we don't belong there. He doesn't want us there. And the interesting thing is, I'm like the best roommate in the world because I keep things neat and tidy. I'm quiet and respectful. And like, he literally said that he wants his house back, that we're taking over. Yet I have like 2 cabinets in the kitchen for my food. We have our room that we stay pretty much sequestered in quietly. I don't play music loud. I don't do anything loud. I'm the one who has vacuumed the house literally the entire 5 months that we have been staying with him. And all the things that I have done to support him and bring goodness into his world, he can't even acknowledge, is because of my presence. So that's heartbreaking, but at the same time, it feels like the story of my life. Like, looking back on people's lives I've touched after I am removed, usually it's because when their life gets good, then they no longer have use for me. But it's interesting that it's a pattern that people get better, their lives become brighter when I have been in their lives. And nobody can acknowledge that or see that. Shit, I didn't even see it or acknowledge it until this past year when the great remembering and awakening that I shortened to the GRA, the GRA, began to happen, and I started. I've always been good at putting patterns together. I suppose it is having lived and navigated life with complex PTSD for over 30 years, using those, what doctors would say are symptoms, or not symptoms, what is the word I'm looking for? Responses, perhaps, to the complex PTSD, and in the sense of, learning how to regulate my nervous system and learning that I can use my hypervigilance as a superpower, and instead of it being hypervigilance, it being elite situational awareness. Um, excuse me. So last night, yesterday, I had a huge epiphany about who I am, and um, while I was attempting to, it nearly knocked me off my feet. Um, and as I was attempting to process that, um, the owner of the house we're staying in invited the neighbor's father from next door to come in for a visit. And it's interesting because every time he interacts with either the neighbor who took me and Irene for literally 30 days, I couldn't take another minute of it, used me as her verbal punching bag for the entire time that we were there. And has attempted to stir the pot and meddle. And of course, because my roommate drinks, he doesn't remember half of the things he says, or he babbles about who knows what to anybody who will listen. But I knew that this energy was not going to be in my favor. And I was absolutely correct. It's just so fascinating to me that those are the two individuals. When he entangles with their energy, then he turns around and is extra cruel and mean to me. But he made it clear again yesterday that, one, that he's the martyr for letting us stay with him under his roof, and it's his house, and just remarks like that are incredibly hard to swallow when I'm not seeing a way out. The only way out that I can see in the 3D right now is Irene and I living in our car. And that is frightening on so many levels. And I just keep like, if people knew who I am, people would be clamoring to help me. But because on the outside it appears that I am homeless, penniless, this wayward soul, I just basically don't exist. And while I know I exist, and while I know that a divine mission is unfolding, it's incredibly disconcerting to live in a space where you never know what kind of bullshit's going to come at you. Definitely don't feel a sense of security, and it's incredibly heartbreaking to know that I am so wealthy in spiritual knowledge and wisdom at this point that I have like a direct connect with the divine. I don't think it's time yet to share the epiphany that I had last night. It was so profound, though. I literally had to steady myself against the counter and just breathe. Um, but the thing is, with all of these downloads and messages that I'm receiving, in the 3D, I'm experiencing an extraordinary amount of pressure, with no appearance of a way out. And if the universe has closed all the doors of lack, that means that everything is on the upward trajectory. But I'm definitely not feeling that in the 3D. I just want to be safe. I want Irie and I to be safe and secure and stable. And this work I have been doing with Spirit and Mother Earth and music and writing and photography. This past year, I believed wholeheartedly that we would be lifted out of this 3D experience that no longer resonates with my frequency and vibration. And what's interesting is I know that I'm continuing to elevate and rise, even amidst all of the pressure and the fuckery energy that continues to be thrown at me. And I've always had this motto that if you don't know what to do, don't do anything at all. And that is the best action to take. And yet, everything in me wants to just run, but I have nowhere to run to, except Mother Nature, and except Mother Earth. And this spot where I'm at right now, I think I'm facing pretty much due north. The river is to my east, so the mountains are to my west. I had to go out this morning, but first of all, I woke straight up in bed at 5 o'clock, just filled with this energy of angst. And I mean, when you have been discarded and rejected and abandoned so many fucking times in your life, like, the difference now is that I've done all this work. The difference now is that I seem to have a direct connection with Spirit, with my divine counsel, and yet I am being kept in the dark on what the next move is. But I went out today to run an errand, and as I was backing out, my car just started chugging. So I pulled back into the parking spot, talked to Sally, she's been so good to me, and we're well over 100,000 miles, but I've taken good care of her, so she's taken good care of me. But I don't know if I got bad gas yesterday when I filled up my gas tank, because everything was fine until I pulled out of the grocery store earlier, and my exhaust is poop, 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 doing something like that, and it feels like it's in my transmission too. Another superpower I've had to learn along the way is my way around a car, which I love because it's just another form of a puzzle. But I made it to this park to just sit and think and record this transmission. Because I don't know what to do. I don't even know if the car's going to make it home back to the house. I don't know if it's making it worse that I drive it. So anyway, I'm sitting here in this quiet space, attempting to ground myself and remember who I am. But that's kind of breaking my brain too, because when I remember who I am and supposedly all this power that I am being bestowed, I feel quite powerless in this moment. And I just would really love some clarity from Spirit on why I must remain in this humble state when I've basically lived the first half of my life in a state of humility. So I don't know what to do next. Honestly, part of me just wants to sit right here. Because in this moment, I feel safe. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about Sally. I don't know what to do about housing. I thought that Spirit put me in this space to finish the deep healing work and trauma work that I needed to do, and the ironies are just beyond me. I mean, the fact that I'm living next door to the bully who treated me like shit for a month and continues to stir the pot even though I'm living next door. And every time, every day I see her house, our bedroom window, the room that we're in, faces her house. The irony, though, is there's a clump of sage right under the window, and there's a clump of rosemary at the north side of the house. So I do see those two plants protecting me, protecting us. I suppose from worse harm. But right now this feels very much like mental fuckery, and the more I alchemize, the more I trust that I'm still in alignment with my highest good and the highest good for all. I am really, really struggling to understand why we're still in this space of lack in the 3D when my energy field is like billionaire status. The wisdom that I have gained, the spiritual knowledge that I have, is like billionaire, gazillionaire levels. So that irony is also quite mind-breaking and frankly heartbreaking, because my faith just will not quit. My belief just keeps going. Even when I don't want to believe, I fucking believe. I don't know if anyone can resonate with any of this, but there's a reason why I'm sharing it. My audience today includes these big, huge, gigantic boulders that probably came from, I don't know, they kind of remind me of glacier rocks. Some of them have moss adorning them. And then we have trees beyond, plethora of trees. So I'm very grateful for my audience today and feeling surrounded by all of their love. I just wish that I knew what to do. And I think I've mentioned this in previous transmissions that I have no idea what the action is that I'm going to take, the thing that I'm going to do that will ultimately be the spark that lights the fire that rockets me into the light and reveal me to the world. It's interesting, I got a message last night that I need to tell people who I am, no matter how frightening that might be. But it's like I said in the last transmission, even if I told you who I was, people wouldn't believe me. At least that has been my past experience. And I didn't even know consciously who I was until that began to unfold a year ago. And then, of course, the message that came like 10 years ago, and I put that in a nice tidy box of boxes. So basically, I knew who I was when I was a kid, and then it was pretty much just snuffed out of me, reprogrammed me. In part, growing up in a religious cult, ironically called the Truth. I said things that I shouldn't know as a kid. I questioned things that clearly pissed people off because I would get in big trouble. And definitely, I grew up in an environment where I was supposed to keep my mouth shut. So I did. I kept my mouth shut. So, yes, I am an elevated spiritual being at this point, having spent the last year attempting to comprehend who I am and at least understand part of my mission here on Earth. But I am definitely, I thought that Spirit was going to reveal me to the world, and that I was supposed to keep quiet about who I am and wait for that to happen. And then hearing that message last night honestly just added more confusion. So, I mean, if it's taken me this long to comprehend, even on some level, of who I am and what my mission is here to activate global healing, I have been guided over the past year to just like continue to drop breadcrumbs and hints and like my musical playlist. If somebody analyzed my playlist, you would know who I am. I feel like I get this sense that there are souls already looking at what I have left online, what I have put out there, whether it be these transmissions, the magical playlist on Spotify, papers that have been published, articles that have been published by me. I get a sense that my teams are gathering, my teams of mathematicians and scientists and physicists and techies and code breakers and artists and musicians and linguists. I believe that aren't those the people who specialize in language? And of course my glitter glam team, who I think I cannot wait for the most. But also the flood of love that I continue to be reminded is coming to me because of all the love that I have given this planet and put out there over the course of my life. It is also no coincidence that when I put myself back in school at age 37 in this life. I didn't, quote unquote, know who I wanted to be when I grew up. So I did the basic courses first, and then I realized, ooh, I want a degree in communications, in mass communications, so that I can learn every platform of media out there, or communication media, I guess I should say. I wanted to learn how to, at least on a basic level, know how to interact and navigate all the ways to communicate, which I find incredible now because that was totally divine, totally divinely led. And yes, I do know how to edit videos, and I do know how to make them sparkly and fun, and please watch me, and I know how to cancel out background noise and all of that. However, I have been guided to record these transmissions as authentic and genuine as I am. So with all the quirks, with all the sounds, and it is a reflection of how perfectly imperfect I am, just like all of us. We are all brilliantly, perfectly imperfect. And so part of this transmission process has been honestly difficult for me to not edit, to not take out the background noises, to not turn on that perfectionism switch in my head. And just let it be. And yeah, I feel like I've kind of been all over the place this morning, but I don't even know if it's morning anymore. Honestly, the timer says 3808. 3808. That's another interesting thing that I've found is whenever I see numbers, I have to, like in my head, every single time, I have to reduce them down to a single number. So, like for instance, 3808, that's 1619, right? 9 plus 1 equals 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1. I do that in my head with every number I see, whether it's a number on a license plate or a street sign, something on the TV, and I'm really curious what all that means. But I definitely know that the maths are part of this whole project, and quantum physics is part of this whole project. And I just really would love to see this work that I've been doing, this project that I've been working on with the divine, co-creating. I would really love to see it land in the 3D and let me get on to the work that I am here to do. And it's also interesting because I keep hearing this message that everybody who helps me will be blessed tenfold. And I wonder if that means like the people who have been like angels in my life over the course of time, who have helped me with a gracious and kind heart and not helped me for their own betterment or to like wave a flag. I'm helping someone, tell the world. Um, I don't know what that means. Um, but I just like envision walking up to the Hilton in town and being like, so yeah, I got this message that y'all have a room for me, and you all will be blessed tenfold for helping me out. Oh, I wonder how that would go. I'm laughing because I know how that would go. They would probably laugh at me, and I really don't feel like being laughed at right now. It's a good thing I can laugh at myself, though. And it's a good thing that I am a comedian because the laughter is what gets me through. But I think it's probably time to sign off. I can't believe it's already been over 40 minutes. But I'm really grateful y'all are here with me. And I'm incredibly grateful for this quiet spot that I believe has gone uninterrupted this whole recording. So that's awesome. And I love y'all very much. For all of those orphans out there like me, all the beloveds who are struggling and not knowing what the next move is or what to do or how to do it. I feel you. I see you. And sometimes that is the comfort we need. And I'm really fucking proud of all of us. We've done some incredible work. And yeah, I'm just really proud of us. So, with that, know that you are loved. Know that you are appreciated and respected and honored, if by no one else, by me and by the divine. And I will close with my it's not even a mantra. I don't even know what to call it. It kind of feels like my prayer, but I hold my hand over my heart when I say it, my feet flat on the ground. I am light. I am earth. The music lives in me. Thank you times infinity. You see how that rhymes, right? Okay. Love y'all. Till the next transmission, take good care.